Good morning. Peace and blessings. Happy Sunday. How y'all doing? I am the Moon Mama, and today is Sunday, and the sun is at the 6th degree of Virgo, and the moon is still in Taurus at the very final degree. The moon will be in Gemini in like within 30 minutes or so, probably even sooner than that. So, the sun is the energy, the star that governs how we express ourselves, how we express our personality. And wherever your sun is indicative of what you're here to, what energies you're here to like work out in your personality. Wherever your sun is, right? So that's your sun sign. But the sun, like I said, it governs how we express ourselves. It governs our heart energy, like our mission in life, what we're really up to. The sun it rules the heart. What else do I want to say about the sun? I feel a little bit at a loss right now for whatever reason, just because I'm processing my own life stuff, I think. But the sun is at the 6th degree of Virgo. And Virgo is the energy of integration. But it's this energy that really is feminine. Virgo governs the feminine. Virgo is the energy that really rules the constellation because it's why do I want to say that? Because it's where things come out of the internal into the external. Virgo governs the lower intestines, and the lower intestines is where we are in the body, where literally we go, this is waste and this is nutrients, this is waste and this is nutrients. So that's that perfecting faculty of Virgo that is actually making clear about what we need to keep, and what has to go, what goes and what stays. That's the core function of Virgo, is to determine what goes and what stays. And so in our own lives, if you find Virgo in your own chart, go see what Virgo is in your chart. So I have Virgo in my sixth house, right? What house do you have it in? And then you can see where you hold this perfecting energy, right? So if you have it in the first house, that will be about perfecting your own personality, your own identity, like really working on your own self. The second house, it's about perfecting your relationship with your value, your money, your self-esteem. And the third house, it's about perfecting your relationship with your mind and your thinking. And all of this includes some form of the body, right? Because Virgo moves through the body. So whatever you're perfecting has to show up in your body. In the fourth house, it's your inner world. In the fifth house, it's your romantic and your inner child. The sixth house, your health, your daily routines, the people you're with on a daily basis. The seventh house, marriage and partnership, really having partnerships that you understand how they work, how they function, what works, what's the reason for the relationship, right? What do I get from this relationship? What do I give in this relationship? That's the seventh house. The eighth house is about power and how you really are using your sexual, sensual powers to with others, right? And to perfect your life. How do you do that from the eighth house? The ninth house is faith. Really having faith in your ability to heal, to transform, to transmute energy. The 10th house, your career, your work, your integrity, like really being in integrity with who you are. The 10th house is your work. Like, so when you have Virgo in the 10th house, you can't sell something just for money. You have to really believe in what you're doing. It's like, okay, if you have Virgo in the 10th house, what you're doing, your work needs to be something you really feel invested in. The 11th house, community, really being a part of a community where your energy is there to perfect and grow, and with friends, and like being around people where you have like-minded vision and where you're going. And that vision is about making the world better. And then the 12th house, if you have Virgo in the 12th house, that's your subconscious, and that's like an internal drive for better, right? To empower and for the betterment of yourself. But it also includes this aspect, like the 8th house that I didn't mention, that includes your heritage, right? So you'll see like you might have like family illnesses, things that plague your family also go on inside of you, and you are the one that will transmute it. You're the one that will actually be the one to make the difference in it. So that's Virgo through the houses. And Virgo at the 6th degree in Virgo at the 6th degree is about regeneration. So it's literally, what can you bring life to in your own life? What can you regenerate in your own life? So for me personally, I'm currently, I don't know if I feel like talking about it, but so I'm really healing some stuff with my family, right? And I told you guys a story yesterday about my father and his first love, and how he was abusive to her, and she took their 2 children when they were 1 and 2 years old and moved to New York, and he never saw his kids again. And he died when he was 38, and maybe he had those children when he was 16 or 17 years old, so he did not know them ever. And I am working to transmute that relationship to the masculine in my own lineage, in my own life, and in my own psyche. And how it's showing up is in this experience that I'm having with my son in school. And the thing that I am always aware of is that everything happening in my life is happening for me. It's not happening to me. That I am really here to transmute these experiences. I'm not a victim of them, right? So there's something going on in my son's school environment that feels like race stuff. It feels like gender stuff with men. It feels shadowy, and I literally am like, okay, this is my projection. I am creating this reality. And so how can I do the work to heal it, to transmute it, to take responsibility for it? And what I will do, I literally set it up in my mind, like everybody in this experience is on my team. They might be showing up like, you're the worst person ever, and blah, blah, but they're doing that for me. They're doing that so that will help me transmute the triggers, right? Literally walking into the triggers, absolutely recognizing and accepting that every trigger is here to show us where our wounds are, what we need in order to transmute and grow. So with Virgo, you literally can be looking at stuff going on in your body, health stuff that needs to be addressed. You can be looking at stuff. For me, it's with my father because we share the same birthday, and I'm really working on healing the masculine. One of the things that I'm so aware. So first of all, I'm in Larchmont right now at the farmer's market with my partners. So I'm so happy to be here with them. But the thing that I want to say is that when I was pregnant with my son, when the doctors told me that I was going to be having a son, I literally trembled. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to give birth to a black boy. What does that mean for my life? What does that mean? And all of a sudden, all the history, all the trauma, all the karma came up. And I was so aware of all the black women who trembled at the thought of giving birth to black men because of what it will mean to parent a black boy in this American system. And just, I could, at a visceral level, I could feel the fear and the terror, because I remember that was my grandmother's thing. Like, she was so afraid to really, so many black women so afraid to really deeply love their children because they can be lost. There's this idea that they can be lost. And so as I work with that in my own psyche, in my own system, in my own understanding of my own lineage, work with those narratives, those conditions, because those are conditions. Those are conditions that are placed because of this system that we're in. So I work with that energy inside of me, working with my father from the other side as an ancestor, enlisting him to assist me in transmuting this energy so that it doesn't continue on past my son, past me, right? So that my son doesn't have to carry this burden of this narrative that is a part of my black feminine experience. The thing that is also so important as a black woman is to recognize that the woman creates the reality. Just like we give birth to the children, every person you've ever seen in your life was birthed by a woman, right? So women create the material reality. That's how it works. So and also then our thoughts, what we think about it, right? So I'm literally looking at, what do I think about the world? I'm creating in my mind, what would this country be like? What would it feel like to be in a country where I never felt under threat around being a mother of a black child, where I literally felt like my child is completely safe. My child is completely loved and adored everywhere he goes. My child is completely seen and cared for and protected in every situation and scenario. This is how we have to transform the reality, by actually cultivating it internally and then projecting a new one out. Not by denying the one that's inside of us, but by transmuting the energy of the one that's inside of us, right? Of the narrative that we're in danger, someone's out to get us, it's going, right? It's like, because really we have dominion of this experience, but we have to know we have dominion. You literally have to walk like the world is going to collapse at your feet, and with anticipating that it will. You have to be able to speak to the mountain and say, mountain, be thee removed, and believe that it will be removed, because you have to know that the mountain is erected from your own subconscious. It comes out of your own psyche. Go watch the movie Inception. Inception is a great movie that really explains how this reality works. And it will show you, like, literally our psyche through the energy within us is building up constructs, it's scenarios, stories, play lines, narratives that we then step into and live out. And when we do it from this place of I'm a victim and look at what they're doing to me, and oh my God, then we actually have to repeat these narratives over and over and over again until we realize that we're actually creating them. We could go through lifetimes not realizing that we're creating them, but we are creating them. And so today, with the sun in Virgo at the 6th degree, it's about regenerating a new, like what's the new story you can tell yourself about something that's going on that might be historic in your family or in your body or around your health, or that just needs to be integrated in a new way. How can you re-envision, reimagine a new narrative? You got to reimagine it from inside of you in order to get it and anchor it so that it can become out. Yes, that's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's okay that you saw it. Okay, so the moon, when I checked, was at the final degree of Taurus, the 29th degree. So the moon actually just moved into Gemini right now. And Gemini is the energy that governs our perception. So both Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is currently in Virgo at like the 27th degree or something like that. And Mercury governs Gemini and Virgo. And so literally, Gemini is such a beautiful energy, because Gemini is what you think and what you speak is coming into existence. That's the Gemini energy. What you perceive is your truth. Like, your perception is what you're living in, right? Your perception wins. Whatever you believe, whatever you perceive is your reality, is your truth. So Gemini is really understanding that the reality that you're in is your fucking full creation. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it looks like something you love or if it looks like something you don't. You created it. That's how this system works, right? And so the more we understand that, the more we accept it, the more that we can really dismantle the victim mentality within us that would have us believe that somebody is doing something to us. Because the Gemini perceptions, the universe is always saying yes to your thoughts. I don't feel good. The universe says yes. I don't have enough. The universe says yes. That person don't like me. The universe says yes. I don't have enough. The universe says yes. Whatever you're saying, the universe is like, okay, I'm wealthy. The universe says yes. I'm healthy. The universe says yes. I'm beautiful. The universe said yes. I have all my needs met. Everywhere I go, everything is working in service to my good. I feel good in all things, all people. The universe says yes. It's all you. It's all you, right? And here's the thing. I don't want us to ignore our trauma, because the trauma disturbs the frequency of the creation, right? So you can be desiring something and holding it, but if you have unfinished trauma in your system, in your nervous system, it will interrupt your creations. Not always, but it totally, like, it's you have to be in a constant state of mining your reality for the creations that are not in alignment with who you truly are. And that's a constant thing through love and compassion for self and joy and fun. Yesterday I had an experience where one of my friends was upset with me and they were being really passive aggressive, and I just literally, and I looked at it and was like, and before I knew it, I was cracking up. I was like, look at how they're behaving. And I was like, look at that aspect of me that is like so wants my way, and now I think I'm gonna put like, oh, and I just laughed at it. It became something that was really funny. In the past, it would have been something that I totally took personally and felt like all offended by. But because I know it's my creation, I was like, look at what you're creating here, and I just was tickled. And then I text the person and was like, I feel like you're trying to punish me. This is hilarious, right? And then it took the edge of it off, because none of this shit really matters except the perception that we're calling, right? If I perceive that somebody is out to get me, then it's going to feel like they're out to get me. If I perceive that somebody is angry, then I'm going to feel that, right? So I just perceived that it was nothing, and then it was nothing. So that's really it, y'all. So I encourage you today to just be present by what needs to stay and what needs to go. And we actually are in the last quarter phase of the moon today. We're starting a new moon cycle, where we're going to have the new moon in Virgo on the 6th. So I encourage you to just get really mindful about this Virgo energy, because it's about to get really real, because the Gemini Moon is there. And like, what's your story? What's your story? Because your story is going to be your reality. It is your reality. It's the only thing that ever is. So with that, I wanted to just say thank you for everybody who's been signing up for readings and for allowing me to be supportive to you. I really love doing it. It's my passion. And I feel really grateful and blessed by all of you. So thank you so much. Have a really wonderful day. All right, let me just check and see if there was any questions. That I should. Indeed, we create our own reality. Yep. Yes, the movie Inception is really incredible. Okay, y'all. I love y'all so very much. Today is August 29th. All right. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.